So Toxic Commando had an update, and it brought a couple of new things. The first thing it brought that is new is this weird thing. Yeah, kind of weird, kind of cool. You probably also noticed the weapon I'm holding, but I'll get to that in a second. There's this new vehicle. This thing's pretty sick. It has mortar strikes and also the turret at the same time. I think that's to give like the player and the passenger an ability to actually do something more than just, you know, the driver's just driving, being bored. Pretty cool. This is how it works. On top of that, you probably noticed we're in a whole different location. Pretty cool, very Last of Us style apocalypse, love it. Now, this thing also is used in the mission to like get rid of things, and this mission was actually pretty long compared to most of the other missions. I really enjoyed it. Now, when you destroy these things, you probably notice on the ground over there, there is a purple weapon. It's not always a purple weapon, but in this case it is. I would trade it out, but I'm using the new guns, and I kind of want to see what they do and show you what they do. So bear with me. This first one is, I think it's supposed to be like a sniper rifle with explosive bullets, or like a DMR with explosive bullets, but it shoots things that attach to it. This little thing, you can fully charge it up to do an explosive radius that'll take you out a couple of zombies, and then at the same time you can just use it as a straight up pistol. It kind of reminds me of like Dead Space or something like that, but it's very good either way. Not too fond of this thing. If I was going to use a primary, I think I would just stick with like, I don't know, a sniper rifle or an SMG or something. However, this sidearm, loving it. Very cool. A little bit of recoil there, but it's pretty cool. Now, the mission mostly contains you driving this thing around for the start of it. You have to obtain it first. And destroying these things. And then, of course, we're going to go grab the fuel from the other side, keep the car fueled, you know, the usual stuff you do with these missions. Now, instead of cutting out a lot of the driving around, I'm just going to leave it in because this city is actually pretty cool. The map itself is a lot smaller than you would expect, but there's so much packed into it that it doesn't feel small. And the details of it are pretty cool, I ain't gonna lie. Like, the brush over buildings with, like, overgrown stuff. This was pretty cool, too. I had to stop here to try to grab that, I forget what they're called. We just call them, like, cranks or wheels or whatever. They're upgrade parts for the, like, end zone type of thing. Spare parts, that's what they're called. It even says it on the screen. I probably should have seen that. What I wasn't expecting was this absolute horde to be right outside. But I did try to, like, see how the weapons were going to fare. I'm going to be honest. Little handgun, absolutely loving it. I might pair it with the DMR, like I said. At this point, I was like, you know what? Let's bounce. It's not... Did that guy fly? It's not worth being in there with all that. And then I realized the fuel is in there, so I have to go back in. Brilliant. Now, this is the part where normally you would end up ditching your vehicle because you have a new objective. But this purple thing, we need to get through it. So, for a short period, they make us ditch the thing, right? But we're going to go into this building over here after we deal with this absolute horde. And it adds an element where, you know, we can't just do the entire mission up until the standoff point in the vehicle, you know what I mean? Like, there's actually something to do on foot as a team. Absolute cinema. I love the fact that it was dark when I bust that door open because I straight away knew we were going to go into a weird ass location. There are some lights on in here, but still. This part was pretty normal. Just take out zombies. They complain about that busted pipe, so we had to find something to fix it. I did like the levels of depths in this mission. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot more to do than just gather a spare, destroy one thing, get to end of mission, defend. You know what I mean? There was a fair bit more going on here. On the other side of this building, we ended up finding a weapon. I guess it's like a SAM turn or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a big gun basically. And we needed it to crack the building's upper floor we're in. Also, I forgot I could gun bat for like half of this. It's a pretty useful feature. But yeah, that gun right there is what we're trying to get a hold of. I thought we were just gonna like attach it to the car or something, but no, we actually need it to just shoot this building. So yeah, we had to do the classic search the bodies type of mission from World War Z. I can't remember if this game had that as well, but you know, I think it's the same developers. But it turns out that this guy had the trigger, I think, which we need. Or the ammunition. I'm not even sure what it is that we're looking for, I'm going to be honest. It just kind of looks like the ammunition, but I have no idea.
Let her rip. Time to head up.
Anyway, so that busted a way in. Then we had to climb up and do a little bit of parkour to get in, and then also to maneuver throughout the building. There was a small horde before the parkouring, but you know, it is what it is.
I'll use my flashlight. Stop messing around.
I'm gonna be honest, the last thing you want to see in a small space is a charger type thing. Yikes, if this was a harder difficulty, I probably would have died. Now, I cut it there because I got a little confused because going up that staircase, I assumed we're going like up the staircase, not back out the building. But I figured it out and we ended up going up here, started shooting up some vines, getting rid of them. There's also a small amount of zombies around it. I imagine higher difficulties, there's going to be a lot more. Either way, we're clearing these vines for some reason. And all of that was to get a hold of this upgrade for the vehicle that was actually an experimental weapon upstairs that we had to test, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we ended up attaching it to the vehicle, and this is what we do with it. That was a hilariously awkward time between it actually doing and me saying do it. But it turns out we have to shoot this core thing. I thought we just had to shoot it itself, but the orange ball is what we were supposed to be shooting. I wasn't aware of that, which now that I'm looking at it, it's pretty obvious. I was just having a dumb moment. So yeah, we shoot that, we make our way through. Then we obtain this core thing, similar to the one that we got on the back of the car. We had to like chain it or whatever and drag it around. But this one is on a chain already. Also thought that was a little annoying, couldn't just grab that, but it's whatever. yeah, basically we start this thing up and then we follow it. This part was pretty damn cool. I screwed up a jump at one point, you'll see, and I don't know, it got pretty chaotic at one point. I also figured I had to turn that on by hand, but the weird new feature of this car in this mission, the grapple hook or winch, whatever you call it, now also acts as a power-up thing for these like power source things. I thought that was a kind of cool use, so you don't have to get in and out of the car for this part of the mission.
What is this? The long way around?
Yeah, I think this is where it absolutely goes to hell. The vehicle's damage is not that bad right now, but then, bam, I'm just on fire. We crash down here. I'm like, oh crap, gotta get out. Quickly upgrade, we'll fix this thing before it freaking blows up or something. If I was playing the drone class can actually repair it while you're, like, even if you're in the vehicle, I think, you just get out, press repair, and then jump back in. But no, it's not that hard if you're not that person. Anyway, this time I didn't screw up the jump because I recognized that one part was longer than the other. And basically we chased this ball all the way to the end where there's a standoff point here. We just had to basically get that freight container down as a bridge. I think it's a freight container. Yeah, it got a little intense. And then we end up here where we're now at a standoff point where, you know, set up defenses, the usual kind of World War Z type of gameplay. Which, by the way, the Walking Dead DLC for the World War Z is a lot more like this game than World War Z because you're like moving while doing objectives instead of just stuck at an objective, if you know what I'm saying. There's a bit more to it. I actually really enjoyed that DLC too. But either way, we set up defenses, I got the health things down, I got the turrets, and now we're just starting to defend. There's not really much else I can say about this mission except for it was pretty fun, and I'm looking forward to like the part 2 of it, them expanding more on it, more weapons, all that kind of stuff would be really cool. This game's still pretty damn good. Anyway, I'll just leave y'all to watch the rest, and if you want to or not, I don't really care. But yeah, pretty decent update. Oh, there was also missions, I think it's like an event or something for like Leon's Trials. I wasn't really sure what that was, I didn't really read it too well. But yeah.
Don't let them reach the sludge core. Clear them out.
guys think there are any sewer gators out here?
That's an urban legend.